I hope he likes leftover ice cream cake! Exclamation mark. Lance just reminded me. Hey guys, what's going on? Great day today. Guess what today is? Today is Thursday, the beginning of the NCAA tournament, officially. Tonight? No, 12 o'clock, I think. I think everything kicks off at 12:15, number one. But forget all that. Forget all that. Today is also Mr. Connor's birthday. Connor is, how are you, 20? How old are you?
24.
24? Wait, what year is that? Like 2016?
1993.
1993. Like, what is that? I used to pride myself on telling people I was born in 1974, and people all get excited, like, 74, you're a baby. Baby? You were born in 1993. Like, I graduated high school already, and you were like, well, not even born yet.
Yep.
I'm going to be born next year after you're out of high school. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Another year, older, wiser, better. This year has probably been amazing.
This
for
has
you.
been a good year, yeah.
It's been an eye-opening year, I'm sure.
It's been one of the best years of my life, for sure.
Would you ever have predicted that you would have said this would have been one of the best years of your life with, say, me in it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait, no.
Never.
No.
Never. And now with me in it, it became one of the best years of your life.
Yeah.
What would you do without Lance and without me? It would just be you and Mary on alone on some islands.
Yeah, which doesn't sound horrible.
That does not sound horrible. I actually think I would rather that than being with me and Lance, to be perfectly honest.
I don't know.
But I was a little late to the game today, and yesterday was mildly traumatic for a number of different reasons. So we are going to officially celebrate your birthday, whatever that means. It's probably going to be a card tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to come up with like my favorite Connor moments of the year. But everyone, give me a resounding happy birthday to Connor.
Thanks.
Can they hear it?
Yeah, I really appreciate it, everyone.
It's good.
Worked really hard to get here.
What? No, you didn't. You've been sitting on your ass for 4 hours every day. What are you doing tonight? What does the girl have planned for you?
We're going to Red Rooster in Harlem.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then there's like a jazz show in the basement afterwards.
Get out of here.
Yeah, there's like a jazz club apparently. I've never been up there, but she knew I wanted to see music probably, and so. Oh,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. She took the bull by the. She grabbed and you're going.
Yeah.
After all the pulling with the bulls and everything.
Yeah, the bulls, right? Yeah.
Good for you. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Take a load off tonight. Don't answer any texts from Lance or from me.
I don't know.
Just go do you.
I might have to answer some, but.
Answer mine.
Okay.
Don't answer his.
All right.
Something's wrong with it. I'm just gonna put this right here.
Thanks, Mom.
Car aids, all good. So, and maybe you'll understand this, Connor, but I don't know if you're too young to understand, to be honest, and I hate sounding so, is that condescending? I don't even know.
No, it's not at all.
But when you're little, when you're young, everything is big, right? Everything around you is tall and big and important and monumental. If you're swinging at the playground in your local little playground down the street, right? Everything seemed big. The slide was really long and the swings were really high. The grass was far and wide. It was big, you know, or if there was a monument in town, like a little statue that you would sometimes climb up, it was huge.
Yep.
The way you remember it was huge. And there's something to be said for never going back to seeing it again, because you want to always keep that first impression of it in your head. Big, huge, right. Gigantic, like important, substantial. But undoubtedly, we all go back and we all say the same thing. God, I remember that house so much bigger when I was little. And that's the slide that I was like afraid to go down. That was like this big slide, or, you know, like, God, you were so tall. You were like the tallest person in the world. It's almost deflating in a little bit. Like, you almost want to keep your childhood memories. And while it's great to go back and visit it, nothing is ever going to be as good as it was when you were a kid, unless you were terrified of something and you went back to squash those fears and you're like, see, it wasn't that bad. So, you know, I used to be the one that always wanted to go back and, oh, well, this is where I first lived, and, you know, this was my school, and that gate, you know, out to the street was so big, it was like the White House fence. Nobody could get over it. And meanwhile, you know, now I'm like, oh, okay, it wasn't that big at all. Everything, it doesn't matter. But like I would say 12, 13 years ago, I was approached with an opportunity to go see Peter Gabriel in concert. Now, I saw Peter Gabriel. He was the first concert I ever saw. My best friend Marnie and I went to the Hartford Civic Center, I think it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the name of the concert hall. And we went to see Peter Gabriel. And we didn't know many of the songs, but we bought all the. It was at the end of the cassettes and into CDs, and we bought all the CDs and we learned all the songs, and it was fantastic. And we just had the best time getting there and being there and getting home and being home and talking about it. And what a cool concert to be the first concert you went to. Now, obviously, in my head, in our heads, there were 10 billion people. The stage was ginormous. He was this tall, younger-ish, relatively good-looking. Peter Gabriel's good-looking, kind of thin. Incredible singer with an incredible show that he put on, and we loved all the music. And then maybe it was more than, it had to have been, it was in high school, so it was, oh my gosh, it was 24 years ago, let's be honest, okay? Now I know, Connor, it was 24 years ago. A couple of years ago, Peter Gabriel's coming through town again, and Marty and I decide we're going to go back, we're going to go see Peter Gabriel. It's going to be twice as fun now, because we can actually appreciate it. We're adults. So getting there will be fun, being there will be fun, getting home will be fun, being home will be fun, right? Just as it was back then in high school. The music, we didn't even think about the music. Obviously, that's going to be great. The show's going to be as grandiose as it was back in high school. So we go. It's at Madison Square Garden in the round. So we figured that's fantastic. Whatever, I don't even know. So we go, and we're sitting down, and we're giggly, and we're excited, and we want to recreate the exact same fun we had in high school. And it wasn't. It was the slide. It was the bridge. It was the gate. It was all the things. It was your childhood home. It was the stuffed animal that was this huge, life-size thing for you that suddenly wasn't. That's what Peter Gabriel ended up being. He was okay. Didn't quite hit all the notes. A little bit slower. A little bit heavier. A little more boring. It was woefully disappointing. But it was disappointing because we set ourselves up for this to be the show of all shows, similar to what it was back in high school. And I said to myself back then and there, why don't I just leave all my amazing memories intact? So I always have them. Because now, my amazing memory isn't of Peter Gabriel 25 years ago. My memory of Peter Gabriel was Peter Gabriel 5 years ago. And nothing against Peter Gabriel. The guy's amazing, but I'm not the same person I was. I'm a little slower and probably a little louder and a little whatever than I was 25 years ago. So it's just life. That's life. And for the last couple years, I've embraced this as I'm going to let the childhood memories stay intact, or the early adult memories stay intact, and have them pristine and wonderful and amazing. And I'll make new ones as I go through life. Then I saw that Art Garfunkel was playing here in town. I'm a huge Simon and Garfunkel fan. I have watched that 1991 concert in the park no less than 24 times already. I know every nuance of the show. And then I saw them at the Garden, probably 15 years ago. They played together at the Garden. I saw that. I love their music. I play their music. The Box was probably my favorite song of all time. So now Art Garfunkel is playing a small venue in New York City at a place called City Winery, which, by the way, let me tell you, have you been there, Connor?
I have not.
One of the coolest places in the city. It's the only winery in New York City. They barrel their own wine. You can actually make your own wine. You and a bunch of buddies can come together and make your own barrel, let it sit for 6 months or whatever it is, and you can actually have it.
That's awesome. Really cool.
Yeah. But they bring in all these different really cool singers, like Jackson Browne and Natalie Merchant and the Gypsy Kings and Melissa Etheridge. I think James Taylor might have come in. And so, oh look, Connor, they're doing the mouth game.
Oh yeah.
And so, here comes Art Garfunkel. Now, Art Garfunkel, there's one thing for leaving your memories intact, and then there's an opportunity to see Art Garfunkel. And of course, I decided I'm going to go do it. I wanted to see him. I've always wanted to see him. I'm going to go see him. So it was me, and it was Stephanie, and then two of our friends, Mark and Katie. Their kids are friends with our kids. The night didn't start off well. I got on the C train to head down there. And I mentioned yesterday it was like Siberia. It was colder than that. Remember, I don't know if you were out last night, Connor. It was really cold.
Yeah.
Get on the C train, listening to my music, and I hear the rumble of an announcement. There was no point in taking my earphones off. I can't understand the announcements anyway. It turned out the announcement said the C train will now be running on the F track, making all F track stops. So I heard something, I took it off, I say to the guy standing up there, so I go, what'd they say? Like a New Yorker, not even, excuse me, can you tell me what they say? But what'd they say? And he like a New Yorker looks back and goes, I don't want to know. And I was like, alright. We both put our headsets in. Next thing I know, I'm in Queens! Nowhere near where Art Garfunkel was playing. So I get out in a panic. Now, I could end up in Florida. If I can go to sleep in New York and end up in Florida, okay, I'll make it back to New York. But if I fall asleep in Manhattan and suddenly wake up in Queens, it's like Kramer being lost at the nexus of the universe when he got lost at 1st Street and 1st Avenue and he was like, I think I'm at the nexus of the universe. Well, I had no idea how to get back. I didn't know where I was. It was like I was holding onto my suitcase with a camera around my neck in my like Hawaiian shirt. That's how terrified I was. So I called Steph in a panic and I'm like, Steph, I don't know where I am. I'm in Queens. She's like, well, where are you? Just read the sign. So I go, I'm on Delancey and Essex. She's like, you're a moron. You're not in Queens. You're just very far east. So you need to just get an Uber and come back. It's too far to walk. I'm like, I'm not in Queens? She's like, you're a moron. You're not in Queens. Just get an Uber. We'll meet you here. So I got to the concert a little bit riled up because I thought I was coming from Queens. Needless to say, it was not Queens. So now I get to the show and I meet these guys and we have decent seats and it was great. And you know, it's dinner it's like a dinner show. So they serve you a really awesome meal and then you get to, and they want you to taste their house wine, but they have an amazing wine list. And then the show starts and you're all sitting around a stage. So the show starts at 8 o'clock and at 8 o'clock the lights dim and this older gentleman, sort of a heavyset gentleman, comes out and he says something about, please, if you don't mind, like no, don't take pictures or no, the no video thing that they usually do. So okay, whatever. And we're waiting for Art Garfunkel. And about 4 seconds after that, the same guy, the older guy that came out to tell us about it, comes up to the microphone and he says, hey, hi, how's everybody doing tonight? We're waiting. I said, we're good. I'm really excited to be here. And let's get started. And he starts singing a song. And it dawned on me, 8 seconds in, that was Art Garfunkel. Now, I, as a semi-intelligent woman in 2017, fully expected the Art Garfunkel from 1976, apparently, to show up on stage with the fro, the beautiful curly hair, tall, long, lean, what are the wide bottom bell bottoms with a button down shirt or the hat he had on. Like, I thought the guy from the early 70s was going to, like, what was I thinking? Because in my mind, like, I just want to let memories be memories. Like, sometimes that's the best way to keep them. So I said to myself right away, like, I'm either going to be woefully disappointed or I'm going to embrace this and, like, make a new memory out of someone that I absolutely love. And Art, to his credit, talked a lot about how he's not the same person he used to be. He's not the same soul he used to be. He's not in the group that he used to be in. He's not playing for, sold out concert halls like Giant Stadium. But much the way his good friend Jack Nicholson will do a dumb movie if he wants, or a great movie if he wants. Why? Because he loves to act. Arthur loves to sing. I love to sing, he said, and that's why I do it. Now, it was mildly insulting to the audience, then he's probably I thought he was saying was like, listen, I'm sorry I'm playing in such a sucky venue, I'm just doing it because I like to sing. Or you could take it as like, I'm going to sing forever, whatever venue it's in. The songs were incredible. The second song was The Boxer. I fell in love with every ounce of a molecule that was around me, with the air and the people and everything. It was wonderful. It was such a great show. And then at one point he writes these like poems. They're beautiful poems because he's a book that's coming out. And I was like, I don't want to listen to this guy with poetry. Like, no, I just want to hear you sing. By the end, I was craving the poems in between each song, which if you get a chance to see him, you'll know what I mean. And he got to this one point, and he was going to talk about it like he did with all the other songs, and he stopped and he said, whatever, this is the song that changed my damn life. And then he sang The Sound of Silence, which was the song that like took Simon and Garfunkel and made them Simon and Garfunkel. And I wonder if we all have something in our life that we could look back on and say, well, this was the thing that changed my life. This was the moment that changed my life. This was the event that changed my life. This is the person that came into my life that changed my life. And I thought about it, and you know, I can honestly say, if this show takes off and becomes amazing, then like the Leaving the Today Show was like the moment that changed my life. And if it doesn't, then Leaving the Today Show was also the moment that changed my life, I guess. But I was just curious what you guys had to think, and I was wondering if you guys agree with me, where sometimes it's great to keep those memories small, memories of you being small and everything else around you big, so as not to dent the memories in any way, or you all want to go back and see things and you know, be a part of it again and reminisce, but sometimes at the cost of ruining the memory. Anyway, how's it going?
Well, first things first, Darren wants to know if you ate while he was playing.
So he would not, so that's so funny that you said that, Darren, because there was a specific email that went out to everyone. Did I mention this or I didn't?
You did, but
yeah. Yeah, so there's an email that went out that said, Garfunkel does not want any table service during the show. There was a little bit of table service. So we had to all get there early and eat. We were allowed to eat during the show, but they had to stop table service during the show. I guess he didn't want the rattling of that, which there was a lot of.
Lisa Lakusi says, good morning, guys. I don't want to relive them, but I like to revisit them.
Well, I mean, I think they go hand in hand, those two things.
And Kathy K says, you have to make more memories at the stage of life you're in.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Darren says, were you allowed to chew gum?
Yes. You know what I forgot was my bottle of water. Can I grab my water real quick?
Yes.
Read me a comment.
Warrior Class says, complexity, change, time, effort brings reward.
Yeah, I see that.
And Marv says he would love to hear Art sing.
Who would?
Marv would love to hear Art sing.
He was incredible. I mean, he was incredible. It was listening to, I mean, I was so close. I was as close as I am to Connor right now. And here he is singing, you know, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And I was like, yes, all four of them. Like, it was really, really cool.
Simon says, some memories I would love to relive, others not so much. And
sure.
And Patty said, I just want to hold on to the memories and the day I met my husband and changed my life.
I love that. Great, great, great note. Thank you for saying that.
Darren says, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. And Allie Beck says, where's your beanie from, friend? And she wants to know if we have the same last name, and I think we do.
Yeah, you and Allie have the same last name. Allie commented on my my workout picture this morning. My half moon pikes, I call them. I like making up names for my workouts.
Kathy K says, are you going to see Barbra Streisand?
I would kill to see Barbra Streisand. I honestly, you want to know the truth? I can't afford it. It's like $350 a ticket, and I'm not going by myself. Yeah. And I either have to find someone who loves Barbra Streisand enough to spend almost $400 on a ticket, or I have to buy the ticket for someone else. Either way, I don't think I'm gonna win. But believe me, I would kill to go.
Darren says he saw that quote on a bumper sticker.
What?
The yesterday's history.
Oh yeah. So did I. Same bumper.
Michelle Hicks says, I just believe each path we take in life is the beauty of the journey. The good and the bad, it puts us where we are today.
No, I fully agree with you. And that's a good point. And I am a firm believer that the sliding doors theory. Do you know what the sliding door theory is? Is that every choice you make, like,
closes
a different door and leads you to exactly where you're sitting. You know, like something different would have happened had you taken the subway today. You took an Uber today.
Right.
Something different. Maybe you would have bumped into someone you know or met someone and that would have led to something, but it didn't. You took an Uber. Whatever happened because of it happened because of it.
Yeah.
So every decision we make, my decision to go, I was deciding between sparkling water and regular water. Like, maybe if I got sparkling water, it would have given me like bubbles, whatever it's called, you know, like heartburn or I don't know, and then I have to like work out again later and it would affect, like everything affects everything. What I'm saying is, we all have these memories. Like, think about your first childhood home. And was there like a specific place that you made a fort or a tree out back? My grandparents had this rock that we used, this big rock outside. We would make it into a fort. And we would, when we came up to the United States from Haiti, we would climb underneath it and then jump over it. And it was huge. I mean, this thing was like a boulder. And I swear to you, I went back there. My grandparents no longer live there. And I drove back one time. It's right here in Dobbs Ferry. And if I tell you the rock, it was like this big. And I just remember as a kid, like, we hid underneath it, we jumped over it. It was like, I couldn't even believe how lucky we were to have this huge rock that we were able to use as our own fort. And it was like this big. I could step over it right now. And the memory was much more fun thinking about how big that rock was as a kid than now having seen it and being like, oh, really? That was it? That was the whole thing? Or this toy parlor my other grandmother in Fairlawn had, where we thought it was like this huge area that had all these toys, and we would come up here, like, we couldn't get into that parlor fast enough. And we went back to visit it years and years later, and you know what? Two people couldn't even pass each other. That's how narrow it was. Like, one person had to walk by. But yet, I remember playing for hours and hours in that parlor. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe we're better off keeping those, like, just the way they are and not going back to see them, because it just, you're always going to be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah. My mom she mentioned something about our old home. She said she can't go back.
Right?
Yeah. I agree. I've driven by it a couple times. It's pretty, because like we built that house and I've lived there from when I was 3 till when I was like, I think 21 or 20.
Yeah.
So it's like weird not being
right?
there anymore. Yeah. My mom's she hasn't seen it since we left. Yeah.
See, Karen, you and I, right here.
I'll drive by it every now and again. It's changed so much.
Yeah.
Back to Simon and Barbra Streisand. Kathy said, "Come with us. She'll buy you a ticket."
100%. Are you going to New York?
And Michelle Hicks says, "My birthday is in October, and I love Barbara, so let's go." When do they?
We'll find out right now. Michelle, if you are serious about Barbra Streisand, I will honestly buy a ticket. Steph would never spend that money on Barbra Streisand, and we'll go. Yeah, we'll go.
I'll figure out the tour right now.
Connor's getting the tour.
Darren thanks, Darren. He said, "Happy birthday, big boy Connor."
Yeah, D.
Simon says, I've always taken the road less traveled, seems like. I can't talk today.
You don't have to, there's no pressure on you today. Today's your birthday.
Appreciate it. Darren said, "Connor, use #birthday somewhere in the title of the next segment." We have sports next segment, maybe tomorrow or something. Marv says, New York is back, was able to walk no problem today. Even the coffee trucks were open for business. Oh.
Yeah, except that you can't park on my street. It's a disaster, my street.
Kathy says she's playing at Barclays.
Oh my God, Kathy, are you coming to New York for the show?
May 6th.
What day of the week is that? I want to go.
It's a Saturday.
How am I ever going to get tickets to that?
Yeah.
Who are you going with, Kathy? How much are the tickets?
Well, lower level is like...
No, I don't want lower level.
Okay. What do you want?
I just don't want to sit flat. I like to be in the mezzanine somewhere, so I could look down on it.
Like the middle section?
Sure. Or the side, I don't care, but just not on the ground.
I'm seeing like 500 to 800.
Yeah, see, listen, I'm not going broke tomorrow, but I just can't afford to spend $500 on it. I just don't have it to spend $500 on the ticket. Not when, like, that could buy, like, 400 Barbie dolls for Harbor. God, I'm so selfless. And like 400 fresh direct orders.
I don't see any October.
No, she's saying her birthday's in October. But Kathy K is saying she's going in May.
Okay.
I
Darren
don't think
says,
Michelle knew.
or another sleep therapist.
Yeah, true.
Fred Prout said, I'm buying my grandparents' property, childhood memories, meeting new adventures.
It's good. I like it.
JJ3KI says, I really thought my walk to school was 2 miles, went back, and it was 2 blocks.
Right? That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, how did you feel when you figured that out? Were you disappointed? Was it funny to you? Were you like, oh, what a bummer? Or was it just whatever?
Darren said if you do a hashtag birthday, then you give, like, the hearts turn into balloons instead, so that's why he wants to do it.
Oh, okay.
But we'll figure out a time and place for that. Shayla Spry says, good morning, guys. Kathy K says, I'm going with my sister-in-law and paid $375.
Oh, they're now between 500 and 800.
Simon says, I'm going to Bruno Mars in August. Damn expensive. Wife got them for Christmas gift.
They're expensive. I just saw the Lumineers at the Garden. They were expensive.
Darren says the time is today. Alright. Here we go. We haven't had this in a long time, but Ron Angelo Jr. says, I miss seeing you on the Today Show.
Is it Ron Colangelo?
I'm pretty sure it's Ron Angelo.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But I thought it was Ron and Jello at first.
Oh.
Because
Ron Colangelo was my buddy who was the PR person for the Jets, New York Jets.
How do you? What's his last name?
Colangelo. Ron Colangelo. Yeah.
So the real Ally Beck update. She says, does anyone have a cool Airbnb or furnished studio or apartment for me? LOL. Jeez, it's hard to find a condo.
Are you not here in New York yet? If you're not here in New York...
I think she's in Dallas right now.
Well, I thought she was in California.
I think she went to Dallas. Hold on, let me see. Don't read that comment about the apartment name of Beck. She says the name Beck rules. I agree. She says happy birthday. Thank you. Patty says happy birthday. Thank you. Amber says funny that you were in the LES and thought you were in Queens. Streets below numbered ones will always be confusing to me too.
I swear, I wish Stephanie would call it.
Dang.
She's like, where are you? And I was crying. I'm in Queens. I don't want to talk about it. I miss a different Hampshire and I'm in Queens. She's like, just calm down. Tell me what streets you're on. I looked up. I'm like, it says Delancey and Essex. And she's like, you're an idiot. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
That's pretty funny.
I'm
down there a lot.
Ugh.
I love it. I want to move down there.
Really?
Yeah, I love it so much.
There's
like so many good restaurants.
Really?
Like,
it's so far.
Yeah, it's really far. But like if you had gone like 2 blocks east or west and 1 block south, there's just like so many restaurants. And they just pop out of nowhere. Like you'll be walking down the street and you don't see them all, but if you like really look, like they're everywhere and they're so good.
What's on your arm?
Oh, it's not real.
It's not a tattoo?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, how did I not see that ever? And then I was like, do you always use long sleeves? Are you sure it's not real?
Yeah, no, Mary occasionally likes to draw tattoos on, like, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Does Kari know you got a tattoo?
No, she don't know. She said Connor in all caps. No, it's not real. It's fake. It just says happy birthday, Connor, have a great day. And it's a little picture of a cake.
If that was a tattoo, I would laugh my ass off.
Yeah, no.
If you tattooed happy birthday, Connor on your own arm.
Yeah. No, I didn't do that. Okay. Robin Burzak says, I like to keep the childhood memories as they were. That's the beauty of having a child. You get to relive things through the innocence and wonder of them.
Yes. So now I feel that way.
My mom and Darren both want to see the tattoo. All right.
How you going to do it?
I'm just going to... See it? All right, cool. That's enough. Okay, Michelle Hicks says, Jenna, it looks like we will have to settle for a workout and put on Barbara.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll work out to Evergreen.
Okay. Kathy says, I'll be in New York for the weekend of April 28th seeing Hello Dolly. I'll buy you a ticket for Barbara. I have first level tickets.
Wow. Kathy K. Do you guys meet my best friend, Kathy K? Kathy, it's interesting that you didn't tell anyone that I confirmed you on Facebook last night. Did somebody forget?
What was it was just hard to find the...
I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But she was right. I went into my notifications.
And it was there.
And I scrolled all the way down, and there it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird. Patty said TMI, Connor. What was the TMI? The tattoo?
I guess.
Wow. Tough crowd.
Yeah, really.
All right. Amber said Beauty in Essex is my favorite restaurant in LES. Have you ever been there?
No.
It's like you walk in and it's a pawn shop, and then you go in the back. So it's kind of like a speakeasy, but you go in the back and it opens up to this huge like 2-story restaurant, and
wow.
it's really good.
What is the food?
I want to say Italian, but I can't remember.
Usually those kind of places turn into Italian.
Yeah, I've only been at night, like when it's a bar. It's really cool, but
cool.
She says it's such a scene, so much fun and so good. I've heard the dinner's really good. Lisa Acusi says 3 distinct moments that changed my path: meeting my husband at 14, diagnosed with Crohn's disease at 23, and having my first child at 29.
Yeah, obviously having kids changed my life. I mean, that was my moment.
Let's see. Okay, Darren says LOL. He says young love, puke. Simon says, I still act like a kid. Ha, Jenny, you would be a blast to hang out with.
Would I? Yeah, I would.
Yeah. I have a blast every day from 11 to 4.
Obviously, it's a normal day, so I have to tell you that I'm dying to sweat watch. I'm going to probably shock myself every time.
So what is it like? What if we end up going back outside in the spring and summer?
Yeah.
Like, what are we gonna do?
What is that? Can you be
Or
more specific?
like we don't have temperature control.
What do you mean?
Remember last summer how hot it was?
Yeah, it's really hot.
Dying.
I'm sweating.
Well, it's nothing like being out there. Do you remember it would be like 100 degrees?
Because we were in the sun.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to be outside anymore. We have a studio.
Yeah. We'll probably get outside some, though.
Well, we'll walk outside. We'll be down here at the park, I think.
Darren says, don't see The Shack. The Shack. Is that a movie or a show? Anyway, Darren went to go see King Kong yesterday.
Oh, how was it? Oh, they remember that?
He went to see that instead of watching our show.
Thanks, Darren.
Kelly Williamson says, keep a sweater handy. In a few, you'll be cold.
I know. Honestly, it'll be like 4 minutes and I'll be cold.
Yeah.
God, that show was so good last night. It was really, really good. So let me tell you what happened after the show. Connor and I have this little thing about an Uber rating going. He introduced me to the Uber rating. I didn't know there was an Uber rating. I didn't know you can even see your own Uber rating. So once he told me where it was and how you find it, I became obsessed with it. And I take Ubers a lot. Now I do nothing but look at my Uber rating. And my Uber rating the last week went down 0.4 of a point. I was peaking at 4.74. I am now down to, what? Are you high or low?
I apparently went up and then I went back down. It just like flashed 4.55 and then it just quickly went down to 4.53. I'm like,
well, that's because I'm bad mouthing Uber right now. So last night, the ultimate. So Stephanie thinks I'm nuts with the Uber rating. Nuts. Like, if the Uber's there, I'm like, I have to be in the car in 2 seconds, otherwise I'm going to get a bad Uber rating. So last night, we went to see to see Art Garfunkel. We came back late, like 10:30, and we Ubered the nanny home because I don't want her taking public transportation at night. So she gets in the Uber, and there's always like an issue. Jenna, I couldn't find the Uber. Did you walk outside and see the Uber? Oh, there it was. The Uber calls. I didn't see you, but did you look outside and see that I was there? No. So last night I get a call, and it is the Uber driver. The nanny was supposed to go downstairs and get in the Uber car. He calls. I said, hello, and he goes, hi, this is your Uber driver. I'm like, what's the problem? What happened? He goes, I just want you to know, I wanted to know which way you think I should go home. I said, what? I said, is Josie in the car? Like, did the nanny get in the car? And he goes, oh yeah, she's here. I said, what are you calling about? I don't know which way you want me to take to get there. I go, what? Why would you ask me? Whatever the GPS says. I don't know, I'm not even in the car. Whatever you think. Okay. You give me a good Uber rating? You give me a good Uber rating, because I asked you, right? You give me a good Uber, and I go, okay. But you better give me a good Uber rating for telling you can take it. So Stephanie overhears this. She goes, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, from the other room. So we got off the phone. I was like, Steph, I think I'm getting 5 stars on this one. She goes, I can't. She goes, I can't even begin with you. I can't even begin. And that's how my night ended last night. Me and the Uber driver had a little something. Now, I'm going to go on and look. I have to tell you, I don't know how to rate the drivers. You're going to have to show me on the app where you rate the drivers.
It should pop up at the bottom. Like, when you open it up, it'll say the last guy who drove you or girl.
Oh, let me see if it does.
But yeah, this morning, I know the guy this morning downgraded mine. I know for a fact he did.
But why?
Because
see, I'm down to 461.
I could just tell he did not like me. I got in the car and I was like, sir, do you have Waze? Because Waze is the fastest. It's the best GPS in my opinion.
Oh, you told him that?
I was like, do you have Waze? Because he was using like Google Maps, which is the worst, and he did not respond. I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of these.
Yeah. An hour and a half later.
Yeah, and then it took me an
really
hour and 20 minutes to get to my normal 30 minute.
Oh, boy.
And
right,
Darren said I'm obsessed with my super fan rating. He can't get past 5. So, I mean, yeah.
Alright. Well. So that's that. Alright, well, we have a really good show today. We are going to break down the tournament. We're going to get into it. Did you even make a bracket? Did you even do it? You literally have 15 minutes if you go on how do people find it? No one's going to do it 15. Who's going to do it? If you want to know it, just let me know. I'll tell you how to do it.
Yeah, you want to just tell them?
There's a link on my Facebook page.
And Twitter.
And you go on it, click on there, and just fill out your bracket real quick before the game starts in 15 minutes.
15? Are we going to put it on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's playing?
There's a bunch of different
it's
games.
getting chilly in here.
Are you cold?
I like it. I like it cold.
Me too.
Amber says, I literally just realized that I have an Uber rating yesterday. So funny that you're discussing this. I think mine is like 4.6 or something.
Well, you can't just gloss over that. Well, what is it? 4.6 or 4.6 something? Because I was a 4.64 and I'm down to a 4.61. And I gotta tell you, it's really stressing me out.
We checked Mary's score and it was like 4.4 and I was like...
I don't know if this is gonna work out.
I mean, I'm only a 4.53, but that's a very defined line right there. The 4.5.
I can't believe he asked me to give him a good rating. All right.
Yeah. Someone asked me that the other day too. And I gave him a 5-star, and then I checked mine and it went down. I was like, never again.
They hate you, Connor.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what they do. They're just like, I don't know. They want the 5 stars, and then they're like 0. I was so mad at that. I don't even know I'm not even competing with anyone. What are you, 4 point what?
4.61.
Yeah, see, I got 10 points till I beat you.
Thanks.
It's not gonna happen. Amber says, I'm usually very nice to everyone except one situation where I got yelled at for bringing my tiny adorable dog in the car. So that reduced my rating, I presume.
That's very funny.
Okay. Oh, Kathy says, thank you for accepting her friend request. She says, thank you. I'm stuck in the house with 22 inches of snow, and I'm serious. I'll try to get you a ticket if you're serious.
Oh my God. First of all, I would love to be stuck in the house with 22 inches of snow. If I had nowhere to go, there's nothing I'd rather do.
Yeah.
Even with kids, I would do it. The worst is when you're stuck inside and you have some place to go, and all you want to do is stay in your pajamas.
Simon wants to know. Oh, is today the playing games? I think they were the other.
No, they were the other day.
Yeah.
Today's the actual game. Let me say, I'm going to tell you where it is.
Thailander80 says, I'm an Uber driver, and I know you can't please everybody.
Oh, Thailander, tell me why you would this is great. Tell me why you would reduce a passenger's, give me like the 3 reasons why you would give someone less than 5 stars, a passenger.
He says, what is your Uber rating?
Mine is 4.61, but it was 4.64. I'm never late, I'm always on time, and I'm pretty nice and courteous. Is it because I'm on the phone? I'm on the phone all the time.
So yeah,
I'm loud.
That's what I was thinking too. So now, whenever I'm about to get on the phone, even if I'm going to do it anyway, I'm like, do you mind if I make a quick phone call? Even if I'm going to be on the phone for like 40 minutes, I'm like, do you mind if I make just like a quick phone call?
That's what you say?
And they're like, yeah, that's fine.
That's what I should do, is just ask.
Amber's a 4.63.
What? Amber, you brought your dog in the car when you're higher than I am? Can you ask Taiwando to tell me why?
Thailander? Taiwando.
That's probably why I have such a bad Uber rating.
He's gonna come to New York just so he can pick you up and give you 0 stars for that.
Oh. Does anyone know where the games are? I'm looking for them. Remember 683.
683, okay. Mitch I627 says, good morning. Finally I get a chance to catch this and watch.
Hey, Mitch.
Daddy's Boy 505 says, hi from New Mexico.
What's up, Daddy?
Amber says, I'm cracking up. Warrior Class says, your endearing feature, so competitive.
Yeah, I'm very competitive.
Bobby Mull says, hey from Alabama, marry me.
Okay. Why not?
Nancy Kopinski says, I got your book. I lost 9 pounds so far. You're such an inspiration. Thank you.
You lost 9 pounds? By the way, Connor, did you get my voicemail message that I sent?
To Rhonda.
Who else do I owe a voicemail message to?
I'll forward them to you.
We have to find where the game is so that when Tariq comes in, we can be like, oh yeah, we're all ready to watch the game. Here on our, oh, there it is.
Yep. CBS. All right. Kathy says, Jenna, do you want a ticket? It would be a blast.
How am I going to get a ticket next to you, though? How did that even happen? I'm going to be sitting by myself. Wait, Kathy, so many questions. Are you staying in New York or in Brooklyn? I mean, in Manhattan or in Brooklyn?
Thailander responded. He said, 1, if they're being rude, and 2, if they insult him during a ride.
But I would never be rude or insult someone during a ride, and my Uber rating went down.
Have you ever taken an Uber in a city outside of New York?
Yes.
It's a different breed.
100%.
It's like
completely different. I don't even ever believe it.
Yeah.
Like I could be on a road trip somewhere. I was in Indiana or I was in Cleveland, and someone's like, just call an Uber. I was like,
yeah.
No, seriously, how am I gonna get home? They're like, back to the hotel. They're like, call an Uber. I'm like, what are you talking? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me that anything exists outside of New York City.
And but they're so nice.
Of course, because they're not. I mean, we're New Yorkers. Like we're like a little bit of
But it's kind of surprising.
Assholes.
It's kind of surprising. Like
it's a little jarring how nice they are. They're just good people. They're like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
What's going
And
on?
you're like,
where are you from?
Where's the hidden camera?
Right.
Like,
Here in New York, they don't want anything to do with you.
No.
Like yesterday, I called. This is terrible. I had 3 Ubers yesterday. I couldn't get anywhere. Anyway, the last one I called, I was like, hi, how are you? Like, I can't see where the pin is in the Uber because I wasn't from home. It was downtown. And I'm like, can you tell me where you are? What? I can't talk. Just meet me. Click. Hangs up. Why can't he talk?
That's horrible. Thailander says I just reached 1,000 5-star rated trips.
Wow.
Cannot do it. Ren Bean says, good morning, Jenna, Connor, Darren, and everyone else.
Hi, Ren.
Darren's getting the good morning.
Darren, you got mixed into the good morning. Mazel tov on that.
Darren says I used Jenna's book to rest my donuts on.
Thank you. I'd go for a donut now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's catch up on comments, and then we're gonna take a break and get ready for Tariq. Break down the tournament. Talk some tourney.
Tan 11782 says, I always say when I move out of New York City, I'm moving back to America.
It's awful.
Tylander says he's in Houston, Texas.
Ah, very cool, Tylander. And I'm sorry I called you Taekwondo.
He's wearing a cowboy hat in this picture.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Are we breaking or are we?
Yeah, I wanted to break for a few minutes.
Okay. All right, guys. Tylander's name is Brian.
Oh, hey, Brian.
Cool.
Thanks for all that Uber information.
Oh, Kelly Williamson. I think she bought a book. She wants a voicemail also.
Okay.
Just email me, jennawolfshow@gmail.com.
Did you get that? JennaWolfShow@gmail. And I'll do a voicemail for you.
Daddy's Boy says, I need to know your name, Daddy's Boy. I can't say
it. Makes me feel funny inside when
you
say that.
I don't know.
If you buy a book, I will leave your voicemail greeting on your phone.
He says, you're such an amazing person. You help make women look better when they want to lose weight. God bless you.
See, now I want to say, like, thank you, Todd, but instead I'm like, thank you, Daddy.
He said, email me one too. All right, well, get the book.
You have to buy the book.
And you have to let us know your name too.
Your name and then prove you
bought the book. Because we're not going to do an email. You should, like, hey, this is Jenna Wolf. You reached
Daddy's Boy. What's up? This is Daddy. Ew.
Okay, just want to wrap these up. Kathy said, staying in New York City, driving into Brooklyn, I can call Ticketmaster and get a ticket next to us or near us. She says, call me.
Okay.
All right, we'll figure it out. I think we got your information.
Yeah,
Darren is making fun of my ums and ahs. His name is Brandon Decker.
Brandon, it is.
And Amber did the March Madness bracket.
Oh, cool. All right, good. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. Hopefully in a few minutes here.
Okay.
All right, guys.
See y'all soon. Bye. My mom did also.
Oh, that's awesome. Your mom is more dedicated to the show than Lance is.